Oscar time. It is Pub Talk.
Wait, hold on. This isn't the prediction stream?
23 categories. If I take 18, I will be happy.
I'm going to go one better than Adam. I'm going to say I'm going to get 19 out of the 23 right.
And we are live. What's going on, everyone? We all know what night it is. It's post Oscars night. Sorry, let me set up some light here as well. It's just it's a little bit darker than I would like it to be. So I'm gonna set up some light here. But yeah, welcome to the pub. We are back with our reaction show. Last night was the Oscars. I'm just gonna add some light to the situation there. Joining me, as always, is my good friend. Let's bring him in, Mr. RobFuz. Hey,
what's
buddy.
up, everyone? Welcome to this show.
Did you have a good time last night? You did?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay.
I'm not sure. Spoiler alert there. I don't know. I had a good time, yeah. You know what? We have a good time. It's me, Adam. We kind of chat. Kimmy's in there. A couple people that, ooh, look at you.
I'm still on the fizzy stuff. It's still the Oscars time for me. So, yeah.
But it was fun talking to you guys. And, well, one thing we predicted, it was going to be a roller coaster and all over the place. And it kind of was. So
it really was, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers, by the way.
But yeah, cheers, buddy. Cheers.
Sure,
So it's not just going to be us two tonight. Dan is going to join us as well. I believe in a few minutes. So and yeah, we'll get straight into it in just a moment. You know, see how everyone did. Obviously, we had a bunch of people playing along as we normally do. So I'm gonna have to get up the results tracker as well.
Don't mind here. You did such a good job with the results thing and our playlist and everything. Thank you so much, Adam, for a great award season. We had so much fun. Brandon popped in before and he was just saying hi. And we're just saying that we had such a great fun season and everything. So
we did. We had a really fun season. It's come and gone really quickly, actually. Like, you know, if you think back to when they actually made the announcements for the nominations, you know, and of course that was delayed a little bit because of the wildfires and everything that was going on in Los Angeles. And let's get started on that, because obviously that was how they opened the show last night. And and I had a bit of a reflection today on the Oscars, and I was kind of thinking, I was worried before the show that we might be robbed of an Oscars moment this year, because everyone knows that last year's true Oscars moment was the I'm Just Ken Ryan Gosling performance, and today I was kind of sitting reflecting, thinking, did we get an Oscars moment? And I guess yes, we did. Right at the very start of the show, to kick it off, it reminded me of when Queen opened the Oscars in 2018.
Yeah, it was cool.
This year we had this beautiful montage of clips from films that have been shot in and around LA, you know, including La La Land, including LA Story, among others. And this beautiful sort of montage, and with this really kind of poignant music, and then obviously at the end it had a We Heart LA, and it was obviously paying tribute to the, you know, the sort of the resilience and
you're having a problem with your audio, Adam. You sound underwater.
Oh, really?
Thanks, movie mania.
Sorry, guys. Okay, let me try and get that sorted. Give me 1 second.
Hi there. Yeah, Adam was saying that he wasn't thinking there was a moment, but there, like he said, there was a moment. It was kind of the tribute to LA, like he just mentioned. So I thought that was a very cool thing. So I'm a freak, and I'll mention this back when he comes back. But I love growing up in my time, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have a lot of different stuff. But you'd always see, like on television, you would see like Disneyland and Universal Studios and stuff like that. And I just loved finding out about California. And to me, back when I was a kid, going all the way to California was unreachable. But and I've been there many times since. Let's hear you sound, Adam.
Okay, I'm not sure
That's
if this
much
is going to
better.
be.
Yeah, much better.
It's better. Okay, great. Thank you.
But I was
Cheers,
just
guys, for letting us
saying,
know.
yeah, you were saying the moment was, California. And it was, it was with the fires and it was in the world news for weeks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. But as a kid, seeing California was always obtainable. But ever since I was a kid, I love seeing anything filmed in California and like going to California saying, "Oh, this is what's it called? The Brady Bunch house," or that's TV. But this is where they filmed this on the back lot. This is where they filmed that. And I was always fascinated with that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I love songs about LA. I love locations with LA, movies about LA. And I think the Screen Actors Guild did a better job saluting Los Angeles, but the Oscars, I think they had limited time. I think the Screen Actors Guild don't have that many awards. They had a little more time on their hands, I think, but they did a good job. Like you said, you were going to start saying that. I kind of took your lead.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Having obviously been to LA,
and you too,
2018. Yeah, having been to LA in 2018, it was great to sort of go and see a lot of those places. Like you say, you can go there and have a bit of a tour of some iconic sites where they've shot some iconic movies and scenes. And this is the video that they played last night. The clips from Los Angeles and all these iconic moments from different movies down the years. And then it wasn't just this as well. It obviously went from this to the beautiful musical number as well.
I love LA Story,
which obviously had I loved LA Story as well. They had these beautiful musical moments as well. Ariana Grande opening the show with singing a rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, the Judy Garland number, and then obviously Cynthia Erivo followed up. She came in after Ariana Grande and she sang Home from The Wiz, which is a 1978 movie, and then the two of them obviously finished it off singing Defying Gravity, which was obviously closes out Wicked, and it was just a beautiful sort of. I watched it back today and I got choked up watching it. I thought it was just a beautiful opening. So yeah.
Yeah, at the time, I don't think we knew the song. I guess you found out what it was. So.
Yeah. I found out what it was. So, but yes.
I just got a text about the Best Picture from USA Today.
Oh, okay.
Just said, the movie that won, I'm not mad at your Best Picture Oscar. I'm just disappointed. And that sums up my thing. Literally, I just got this message I'm showing on the YouTube stream. Oops, I didn't want to. Well, it's spoiler alerts. Too bad if you don't know who won Best Picture.
Yeah,
but I'm not mad at your Best Picture Oscar. I'm just disappointed. That sums it up right there.
That's sum up your feeling. That doesn't sum up mine. I will say, I was over the moon with the winner. I thought it was my film of the year. It was the performances of the year, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
sure. But yeah, there's obviously like I say, there's Ariana performing, and it's if
awesome.
You've not seen it, go back and watch this opening.
Yeah,
sort of the opening sort of 10 minutes of the show, which is before Conan O'Brien, the host of the show this year, took to the stage and gave his opening monologue. I think we were 27 minutes in before the first award was
something like that.
Yeah, presented. Which I know you are a stickler for time, Mr. RobFuz. Whereas I actually I was kind of like, do you know what? Let it run. I'm
not
care.
a stickler for time as I'm fascinated because I started out wanting to be in the television industry and I just kind of didn't go there. I don't know. Just times changed so much in what my world was. But I always loved production and doing stuff and timing. And like we were just saying, like it was, Adam stays up till 3:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, first thing, which is amazing. But for me, like it started 7:30 and it was supposed to end 10:30. Or I'm sorry, I started at 7, end at 10:30. But I always like to see where it goes, how much over and stuff like that. And I look, the actual show is, am I freeze up? There we go. The actual show is 3 hours and 1 minute. So without commercials and stuff. So
I think it allowed 3 hours and 35, no, 3 hours and 45 on British TV. It did allow for that. So and here
Dan,
is
what's up? No, I'm saying like without commercials, like the playback I saw. So what's up, pal?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Daniel, welcome.
Good, I love
Have
your
you
Oscar haircut.
obviously, Dan, you always have to get up early for work on a Monday morning, so it's extremely rare that you're able to stay up and watch the Oscars, unless it happens to be like half term or something like that. Then but yeah, have you caught up on any recaps today? Did you watch anything after work today? Or
I will be very truthful. The amount of Oscar watching I watched was about similar in comparison to how many films that I watched this year.
which is fair enough.
No, it's. I just haven't had I saw a few speeches, just out of pure curiosity. But that's probably a show for another time. But I thought, I kind of knew some of the results anyway. I kind of predicted the results anyway, but I thought it was good. It's really good.
So some of them were locks. We were just discussing the opening of the Oscars last night, which was obviously the video montage that sort of celebrates LA, after everything they've been through over the last few weeks, and then the musical number, which was Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo doing three songs together, and it was just such a beautiful, powerful moment, and probably one of the standout moments of the night. So that's why this video is just playing in the background. But we'll push forward. We'll start to cover the results, because I know time is at a premium for everyone tonight.
I will say that I only really have a couple minutes. So
that's absolutely fine. But
Adam, let's do something different. Why don't we talk about the results while he's here, and then we can just
we'll talk about the results.
I think anyone's staying, they're going to stay. So
yeah, we always have the pub talk sort of competition. There was 13 of us that entered this year, so which included, obviously, it included the three of us here. It included Brandon. It included Movie Mania Nick, who's in the chat. It included Noah, who's in the chat as well. It included JC, Jonathan Chong, Grace. They're always usually in the chat. Kimmy, Pam. I think there was 13 of us.
My
in
friend
total.
Chris. You guys.
Your friend Chris, Diztails Ray, and the night started off. Noah blew everyone away in the first 4 rounds. Noah raced into a lead because there was a couple of early shocks, and we'll get to those as we go over the results shortly. But for Dan's benefit, because he's only got a few minutes, I mean, Rob and I were trying to guess how many we would get right this year, and we said, because this particular award season had been all over the place, different award shows saw different winners, and that kind of continued last night as well. There was a few shocks early on. Anyway, we got sort of partway through the night, and we had managed to overhaul Noah's early lead, and I noticed it got to sort of one point, and I was kind of leading, and then I got another one wrong, and Dan kind of leveled up with me, and then I kind of looked further down at the awards categories still to be presented, and I realized that Dan and I had gone like for like on everything else. So I was like, okay, we're gonna tie with each other no matter what. Yeah. But then Kimmy got a couple wrong. Kimmy was keeping the pace, and she got a couple wrong there, and then as it transpired, let's go through. I'll go through very quickly with the results in reverse order. So, okay, with 4 out of the 23 right, and that sounds terrible, but I should say that because of the unpredictability of this year, nobody got a really good score.
Really hard, yeah.
It was a very hard year.
Yeah.
So
this might be the toughest year since we've been doing.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, by far, yeah.
By
so
far.
With four out of the 23 right was Pam. Now Pam did go with Wicked all across the board. She it was her movie of the year, and she went with her heart there. But yeah, so Pam got 4. Movie Mania Nick was next with 5 out of the 23. So yeah, so Nick
So you-
Nick there saying I did.
That's what I was laughing at.
I did terrible. Yeah, I was riding the roller coaster and then prepare for the drop. Yeah, so Noah got the first 4 right, but bless him, came up short after that, and Noah got 6 in total. Then next we had a tie between Ray and Grace, and they both got 8 each. So welcome in, Mike. Hello there, gents, he says. So yeah, they both got 8 each. Then we had another tie with... Oh, no, we didn't. Sorry. Then we had Brandon with 10. So Brandon got 10. Then we had a tie between Jim from More Sunshine Please and Chris with 11 apiece.
That might be the best Jim has ever done. Good, congrats, Jim.
Yeah. Then in 4th place with 12 out of the 23 was this guy here, Mr. RobFuz. There's his trophy from last year, but not this year. Not this year. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, you got a 12 out of the 23. Then in 3rd
what was
place,
my prediction? What I was going to get? Sorry,
I can't remember. We both said we'd be happy with 15.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did predict I would get 16 in the end last night. You got me to do that during the red carpet stream. In 3rd place with 13 was Kimmy, who wasn't even going to do it originally, and you said you thought she'd do well, and she did.
She did.
So yeah,
congrats, Kimmy.
Kimmy got 13. With 14, 2nd place was Jonathan Chung.
Wow.
Congratulations, Jonathan.
Awesome.
And then we, same as last year, we had a tie for the win between myself, thank you, and his first win on the board with 16.
Finally.
Well done.
With 16, Mr. DizneyDan. So yeah, you're on the winners board, my friend.
Yeah, I was watching the predictions, and you were so
I've got my
cocky.
statue from last year, and I've got my next one.
Nice. You got the new one. That's so funny.
We'll get one over to Dan as well as soon.
Yeah,
we should get one and engrave all the winners on one main one. That'd be quite cool.
Dan was like a Stanley Cup. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be cool. That would be very cool.
Yeah, but I was watching a prediction stream back, and Dan was so cocky about it was the best year I ever did, and he stood up, he won.
I was saying that because I had genuinely, I was saying that because I had no idea, to be honest. I hadn't seen any of the films. I did a lot of research through like YouTube and looking at reviewers and just actually reading a lot of the film reviews, just getting an idea of what, because I realized that I wasn't going to be able to watch a lot of them, so I read a lot of the reviews and watched a lot of the reviews and actually just listened to you guys, so yeah, no, I was pretty happy.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny because I didn't make any. I didn't hold back anything. Like I liked the Nora, but I felt the second half was just a downer, and I don't know. I just kind of, I was disappointed in the movie, just like that reviewer from I was going to say Entertainment Weekly, but from USA Today said, and I just didn't. I voted for it once, and it's so funny. You guys got 16, Adam.
We got 16. I can't see Adam on my screen.
Yeah, but if like, and I read some of the reviews too, and a couple people picked the Nora across the board. I'm like,
yeah,
no way a Nora's winning across the board. But he's having problems today. But if I picked the Nora across the board like you did, and you picked everything, I would have had 17. I would have won. But I didn't believe in the movie. Like it just was sad. And a couple, like I picked Flow originally, and I changed my mind, and a couple things I changed my mind. And look, it is what it is. And look, like I said, tomorrow comes, my life does not change whatsoever. So
no, of course. And I mean, I'm more likely going to watch some of the films now. Now that I've got sort of time to, I might during our sort of our Easter weekend holiday kind of time, I might watch a few of them because I really want to see like The Brutalist. I want to see the Apprentice. Was it called The Apprentice?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
The
The
Apprentice.
Apprentice was really good. Sorry, guys, I was
Welcome back.
my tab crashed.
Watch a few, but no, I was really happy to. Well, I wanted to do some research. I wanted to read up about the films and the reviews, and sort of make my own opinions. And I got a little bit of inspiration from a few YouTubers as well. And yeah, I know Hannah and I, we're going to go and see Wicked. We're going to order Wicked on Sky or whatever it is, or just because we actually haven't seen that yet.
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
yeah, it is a great movie.
No, I didn't watch any of the actual show. I find now watching the show, I find it very difficult to watch, not because of the awards themselves, but how political it's got. And I don't agree with why the Academy needs to go all political.
Sure.
And it's just not it's not necessary, and sometimes it brings out almost the worst in people. And I think, movies is when I don't know about when you go to the movie theater in the States, but when we go to the movie theater in the UK, they always say before the film, sit back, switch off your phone, enjoy the movie, don't worry about the outside world. Yet when you watch the Academy Awards, it's very much just like, oh yeah, there's this political thing, and I just think it's I think it's so hypocritical.
I think Conan sort of addressed it really well actually last night in the closing of his opening monologue before the first award was presented. He kind of said it does seem a bit self-indulgent and superfluous to have these award shows, for all these celebrities, sort of when there's these tragedies going on in the world, or there's these political sort of divisions and things like that, and he did kind of cover that, and he said, but movie making at its best unites everyone. It brings people together.
Totally agree.
It has the power to bring everyone together. And he said, so he said, obviously, let's not forget why we're here. He said, yes, we are celebrating. You will see stars, celebrities, from the screen here. He said, but we're also celebrating, the untold or the unseen sort of heroes. The craftspeople, the costumers, the set designers.
Absolutely.
The people that aren't wealthy, the people that aren't celebrated, that aren't seen. But who do work tirelessly all year round to create those special moments that do bring people together. And I think that was a really beautiful sort of message that he put across, that you could take away the everyone's got an opinion, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, whether it's about any kind of current event that's going on, political or otherwise. It's just people will use that as use their soapbox, their sort of 45 seconds to to say their thing, and like you say, it's not for everyone, that particular moment. But the thing that we are celebrating is that moment that brings everyone together. Absolutely.
And I think you're absolutely right. I do think that whatever you hear from these celebrities, whether you like them or dislike them or whatever opinion you have, don't always agree with what they say or do. Go out, do your own research, get the facts, because actually what they say, I find a lot of the time is completely false and completely inaccurate, and they are unfortunately sometimes ripping the world apart just by standing on that stage and putting on a political face. So just go out there, enjoy the films, and enjoy the craftsmanship by all these people, and let people just live their own lives.
And that's my favorite thing about the Oscars awards season is it does push me to go out and watch and celebrate these movies. Like I know when I cut out a few minutes ago, Rob, you were talking about Anora, and saying how it wasn't a film for you necessarily, but it was my favorite film of the year personally, and I think it was great that it was such a low budget independent film. $6 million it cost to make it, and it we'll get to all the categories and all the results shortly, but yeah, it's fair to say it did very well for itself last night, and I love that these films that I might never have watched otherwise if it hadn't been nominated for an Academy Award. But each year on year, I challenge myself to watch as many of the nominees as possible, including the documentaries and the shorts and everything else. And having done so, I find a hidden gem that I wasn't perhaps contemplating watching beforehand. And like you say, Dan, that's the moment where you get to celebrate the hard work, the craftsmanship that's gone into creating that moment. So yeah.
On that note, I'm gonna say firstly thank you for having me on, and
anytime, buddy.
It was a brilliant season. I enjoyed being part of the show on over the weekend, and I love that. And cheers to this year, and cheers to another year of film.
Woohoo! Yes. Cheers to another year of film. Let's do it again next year, Dan. But congratulations on your joint win with me. So yeah,
cheers.
We are. Dan's jumping off now. We are going to keep going. We are going to talk about last night's show for anyone that has been living under a rock, for anyone that missed it, anyone who doesn't know who won what. Rob and I will do a bit of a breakdown now. So, but yeah,
let's do it. Bye, Dan. Congratulations.
Take care.
Bye.
All the best. See you later.
I definitely wanted Dan to be on when we were doing. We told him he's the winner. I didn't want him to not be here. So, real quick though, like I mentioned, if I did pick a Nora for everything, which super rare for anyone to do that. And then Adam told me real quick before we start that the editing, directing, screenwriter, and best picture, that's what it was, right? I think that's what he won, right, Nora?
I mean, you're skipping ahead, but yeah, let's say yeah, we're there. People probably know already.
No, but since 1952 or 4 or something like this.
54, yeah, 54, yeah. So Sean Baker, who was the mastermind behind the film, who wrote the film, directed the film, edited the film himself. He didn't get another editor in; he did it all himself, and obviously produced the film.
Right.
Took home 4 awards for that. For all that work.
And you said it hasn't happened
someone
since
has
the
taken.
50s.
I think there was a stat Brandon put up, actually. That wasn't something I said, but I wasn't aware of that stat. But 1954 apparently was the last time someone took.
And I think I looked it up. It was like on the waterfront or something, which is crazy. It's funny I say it now, like, oh, I could have did it, but like again, I would have never have picked that for all that. So I don't think anyone. Maybe did anyone pick that Anora for all that, for all those things?
I'm not sure.
It doesn't matter. We'll talk as we go.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But let's get to the first.
Things. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to spoil that was
presented of the night. So yeah, obviously the first category, they always start with one of the supporting actor ones, and this was a great category. Obviously, Yura Borisov putting a great performance in Anora, Kieran Culkin, superb performance in A Real Pain, Edward Norton in A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce in The Brutalist. My personal favourite one was Jeremy Strong's performance from The Apprentice. I thought his performance playing Roy Cohn was superb. But I didn't think Jeremy Strong would win just because of the way awards season went. And so it came to be, because this was the result.
And the Oscar goes to Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain.
Here it is.
Yeah, Kieran Culkin, A Real Pain. Did you happen to watch that film yet? I don't think you did you?
I have not seen it, but the glowing review of what you say is did you tell me that like he's really annoying in the movie?
When I watched it, I was sort of
fuller,
fuming inside. I was absolutely fuming inside. I was furious. So yeah, it was one of those, sort of performances that made you want to punch him. But like he was a pain, crazy. But also he was a pain because he was experiencing that real pain himself, and that's kind of, his character. So that's basically, it's great. It's a great title for the movie because of everything it is. But
we do want to see it, but
yeah,
but I'll be honest, your glowing review does not want me to make us see it. So.
It is a good movie. It's a fun movie. Yeah. But
by the way, Noah, Anora is very adult. Maybe not the movie for you, by the way, because you are younger now. So Noah's like, I haven't seen Anora, but maybe you should watch it, buddy. So
Yeah,
like Noah's kind of like
there was live your theme life, absolutely, Mike.
Yes,
yeah, there was. It should be said there was a lot of adult themed content this year. You know, across the board, including in the next category, which the next
real
two
quick,
categories.
Though, Kieran did a great speech. That's probably the speech of the night. If you guys can watch,
yes, thank you for pointing that out. Absolutely, yeah. Kieran's speech was superb. It was the most lighthearted one of the night, and it was probably the speech of the night, like Rob said.
All season he's been winning, and he's been doing lighthearted things. And he dropped the a curse that got edited, not in Europe though, but got edited here. So
it it didn't get edited in Europe, but yeah, but yes, like I say, a lot of adult themed content, including in the animated feature and short. So animated feature, you had Flow from Latvia, which is a animal sort of themed animated movie with no dialogue. You had Inside Out 2, the Disney sequel to Inside Out. You had Memoir of a Snail, which is an Australian one that is the adult content one. So be warned if you're watching that. It's not a family movie.
The opposite. My family's not going to watch it, but I want to see it because you're telling me it's family, not family oriented. I want to see it. So
Wallace and
is it
Gromit,
is it worth watching? Real quick, sorry.
I found it funny. Yeah, okay, I enjoyed Memoir of a Snail. I found it funny. Yeah. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, a great British.
I loved all these movies.
And The Wild Robot was great as well. It was a real good competition this year, and the winner for animated feature film.
Okay, and the Oscar goes to Flow.
It's good to see Gold Young. I used to like her a lot.
Yeah, that was the first shock of the night as well, because everyone had assumed The Wild Robot was going to win this. The Wild Robot had been sweeping award season. I think Flo had won another award along the lines.
Flo's won awards too. It was a 50-50. Yeah. I picked Flo at first. I saw Flo. There's not one spoken word in the movie. It's about animals, and it's a little strange, but I feel it's worth watching. But
absolutely worth watching.
I had that first, and then I picked Wild Robot because I really love Wild Robot. I love them all, but
that is Latvia's first ever Oscar, it should be said as well, because Flow was also Latvia's entry into the international feature film. So, but yeah, it was a great movie. I actually really liked Flow, and as much as I had picked The Wild Robot because I thought it was going to win, I wanted Flow to win. I thought Flow was, or Wallace and Gromit, you know, they were my favorite two out of the animated films. But yeah, sticking with the animated, we had the animated short next as well. So Beautiful Men, again, another animated film that is not strictly family friendly. In the Shadow of the Cypress, you could possibly say the same. Wonder to Wonder, you could say that as well. Magic Candies I didn't see, and Yuck was actually very cute. But yeah, this one I didn't see the winner coming, but here was the winner for the animated shorts.
And the Oscar goes to In the Shadow of the Cypress.
See all these, Adam? I'm sorry.
Sorry, Rob. Did I see all of these? I saw all of them apart from Magic Candies. So I saw the other four. Yeah, but
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was I expected Yuck to win it or Magic Candies. That they were the ones that were kind of being talked up. I thought of the four that I saw in the Shadow of the Cypress. It was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but I just didn't think it was even at the table. You know, sort of. I didn't think it was in the conversation. So
yeah, and at this point, I'm sweating bullets because Noah's in the lead. By the way, so no offense, Noah, but which I was happy for you, but
yeah. Noah was so that was 3 awards, awesome, and Noah had absolutely sort of ran out into a very early lead, which was great. And Noah, I mean, I know in years gone by, your scores haven't been high, and so I was like Noah's on fire at the moment. And yeah, it was actually great to see you doing so well there, buddy. So but yeah, that was the third one of the night. And once, we mentioned earlier that it was a slow start to the show, but actually once they started presenting the awards, they kind of flew through them quite quickly, didn't they? So yeah, the fourth one was costume design, and I think this one felt a bit more of a lock. You had costume design for a Complete Unknown, for Conclave, for Gladiator 2, the only nomination for Gladiator 2 this year, for Nosferatu, and for Wicked, and I think people sort of assumed where this one was going. It felt like a bit of a lock, and I think all of us predicted this one. So the winner was.
And the Oscar goes to Wicked, Paul Tazza.
Yep, so Wicked taking that one. And he was the first black man to ever win that award as well, which was, I think you were silent there, Rob. Is your microphone still okay? No, you've, okay, so Rob is having a bit of technical difficulty. He just muted himself. Hopefully he'll be back in a moment. No, that's still not working. So, that's okay. Yeah, I'll keep going while, yeah, do you want me to drop you out for a minute, or are you just going to try and fix it? Okay, I'll keep going until while Rob sorts out his, yeah, I'll drop you out for a moment. Okay, so Rob's gonna go and try and sort that that audio out. But yeah, so costume design, like I say, we kind of predicted that one. I think that was one of the few locks this year. There weren't many because, like I say, most of award season, the awards had been kind of all over the show. We didn't know where they were going to go. But Noah got this one right as well. He was 4 up by this point, which was great. So so yeah, I'll just see. No, Rob is still not there with the audio yet. So yeah, go into your settings, Rob, and see if you're able to test your microphone in the settings. I'll drop you back out for a moment. So so yeah, so I'll let Rob kind of go there. At least I dodged the ball and go for flow. Yeah, it was a great prediction, Noah. That was just going back to the animated stuff there. But yeah, let's. What was the 5th category of the night? Okay, so the 5th and the 6th categories of the night were the writing awards. So the first one was the best original screenplay, which was Anora. It was The Brutalist. It was A Real Pain. It was September 5, which was actually a really, really good script and story, and The Substance. This was a great category because all of these were worthy of recognition. The story of Anora is fantastic. That is, The Brutalist is an epic. A Real Pain was a great script and had won at the BAFTAs as well, it should be said. September 5, like I say, was great, but this was its only nomination. And The Substance, again, another film. Rob, you are here. Are you back?
Hi there.
Yeah, you're back. There we go. So welcome back, buddy. And JC has just popped in saying hi, everyone, as well.
JC.
So yeah, this one was definitely not a lock. This one, I think, could have gone in any of 3 ways, and it was the first 3. It was Anora, The Brutalist, and A Real Pain all in the running here. And it did make me wonder, like, if Anora took it, that might put the writing on the wall for how the night might go for Anora. However, like I say, at the BAFTA, A Real Pain had won it, and Jesse Eisenberg hadn't even written a speech because he didn't expect that. I think The Brutalist might have taken this on one of the other award shows as well. So,
I think it did.
So it was a a really interesting sort of award, like to lay down a marker for the night. All good films, says JC, absolutely. But yes, so this was the 5th award presented, and this is how it went.
And the Oscar goes to Anora, Sean Baker.
Okay, so Anora took that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like her.
It is, yeah. So Anora obviously took that one, which, I was shocked by, although I did pick Anora. I was, I picked it, I think, more on hope, but like I wouldn't have been surprised to have seen either The Brutalist or A Real Pain take that award either. So so that was one of those that was definitely not a lock, and yeah, it was. I was nervous about that one going into.
Yeah, at that point, I'm like, uh-oh, Anora's looking good, and I didn't hear anything about The Brutalist. Like, I'm like, hello, is The Brutalist what's the deal with the Brutalists? So
yeah. And then, like I say, it was both writing awards presented. So we had adapted screenplay as well, which was the next award, the sixth of the night. A Complete Unknown, again, a really good story there. Conclave, Amelia Perez, which was sort of the most nominated film of the night with 13 nominations. Nickel Boys, which was obviously a Best Picture contender as well. In fact, the first four there were Best Picture contenders. Sing Sing missed out on the Best Picture race, but Sing Sing was again a great story. So I think the smart money was on the first two, either A Complete Unknown or Conclave. I think Amelia Perez had certainly, for all of its kind of early nominations and hype, had certainly sort of been knocked out of the race by a few controversies surrounding that film. But this is how the award went.
And the Oscar goes to Conclave, Peter Strong.
Yep.
Yeah, I picked Conclave for that, but I think at that point I'm like, all right, Nora's going to do really good, and then Amelia Perez is going to do really bad. Those two back to back. So you just kind of knew it, you know what I mean? You just.
I think you were right there. I think you were absolutely right there. I think that was. It was.
Trying to see what my reaction was.
Let's have a look.
I did make a comment to you.
Easy costume pick. Thanks, Adam and Rob. I'm sure I'll get better next year. You will, Noah. You'll absolutely get better next year. And it should be said as well that don't worry about your scores this year, because Grace normally does really well. There was one year she went 22 out of 23, I think, or was it 23 out of 24? It might have been back when there was 24 awards presented. And this year she only got 8, and Grace normally has her finger well and truly on the pulse. But I've had years where I only got sort of 11 or 12 correct. So it is, some years are difficult to predict, and this was definitely one of those. Hey, Connie, welcome in. Dismom7 says, hey, Rob and Adam. So yeah, it was, it's not beyond the realms of possibility for any of us. I think there's been years where Brandon only got 4 correct as well. So that was a few years ago. So like it's all a bit of fun. And at the end of the day, we're only picking one nominee in each category, and that means technically you stand an 80% chance of getting it wrong. So because it's 1 in 5 for the most part.
Odds are against you.
Yeah, the odds are against you, absolutely. But yes, the next category of the night to be presented was makeup and hairstyling, which obviously was A Different Man. This was the only nomination for that film.
Yeah.
Amelia Perez, Nosferatu.
What was A Different Man? I don't even know what that is. Sorry.
A Different Man was
Sebastian is it the one with the face?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Sebastian Stan. And when I first watched it, I thought that was I felt it was really in the running. And then I watched Nosferatu, and I thought, okay, Nosferatu is probably in with a good shout. And then I watched The Substance, and I thought, no, this is exactly where this award is going. The makeup and hairstyling. And it was funny because in the analysis on the UK TV afterwards, they were like, well, but it's special effects, rather than makeup. But I was like, well, no, it's special effects makeup. That's the thing. So it is.
Yeah. Oh no,
we saw it. We saw it with the transformations of Brendan Fraser when they won for The Whale, and with the transformation of Gary Oldman when he was transformed into Winston Churchill for Darkest Hour. So yeah, it was superb makeup in The Substance. That's this award was presented like this.
And the Oscar goes to The Substance.
Yeah, so there was no shock there, really. I think.
Did anyone not pick The Substance? I think everyone picked it.
Our across the 13 votes, across the 13 picks between us all, half of us went with The Substance and half went with Wicked.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and obviously, the makeup for Cynthia Erivo, and things like that. So yeah, JC. So then I may have gotten a high score. I thought my score was low still. No, JC, you I think you weren't in the chat. We have covered the results already, but we'll touch on it again at the end for the benefit of people that weren't here. So yeah,
good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, we are going to try and rattle through these
let's get through it. We're doing great.
as much as we can. So as quickly as we can. So the next category to be presented, the 8th award of the night, was film editing. So that was Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. And I really didn't know which way this one was going to go. All of them have got fantastic editing, it should be said. The editing in all 5 of these movies was great. I was surprised to see Dune 2 overlooked in this category. But yeah, I wasn't sure where it was going to go, but I personally felt Sean Baker was riding a bit of a crest of a wave. So my pick went with Anora. I can't remember. You went with The Brutalist on this one, right?
You picked for achievement in film editing. You picked Conclave.
Did I pick Conclave?
Yeah, the only one who picked it was Brandon.
Oh yes, okay. So yes, okay. I went. Yes, I did go with Conclave. You're absolutely correct. You went with The Brutalist. Yeah.
Let's play the clips.
So film editing.
And the Oscar goes to Anora, Sean Baker.
That's where I was like,
yeah,
it's Anora's night.
Sorry,
definitely.
Yes, that was the moment where I thought, okay, this is looking ominous for everyone else, and really, really good for Anora. That was it was
for sure.
Yeah, Sean Baker. That was his second award of the night in the first 8 out of 23. Because he'd already taken the writing award, sort of three categories earlier. So he must have only just landed back in his seat from the press backstage, and then all of a sudden he's going back up to collect one for his editing. So yeah, like you say, that was where it was kind of an moment. The 9th award of the night is one of the ones that's kind of always a bit more anticipated, but this one I think was a lock, a bit like the first award presented, which was the actor in a supporting role. This one was the actress in a supporting role, with Monica Barbaro from A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande, whose performance in Wicked actually blew me away. I thought she was great in that. Felicity Jones was great in The Brutalist as well. Isabella Rossellini, she only appears for like 8 minutes in Conclave.
Oh wow, I didn't realize it.
And then Zoe Saldana, she had swept all of awards season. She had got the Golden Globe, she'd got the Critics' Choice, the BAFTA, and the SAG Awards. So it would have been no surprise to see that award go to Zoe. It would have been a surprise if she hadn't won it. Here is how it went down.
And the Oscar goes to Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
The player song that she sings, that was cool.
Yes. Yeah. I thought it was great. Alison says, "Hey guys, sorry I'm late. Welcome, Alison. Welcome into the pub. It's great to see you."
For supporting actor, Kieran Culkin was a lock. For supporting actress, Zoe was definitely a lock.
Yes, I think the 2 supporting categories were locked this year.
For sure.
The same couldn't be said about the leading actor and actress races, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But
hey, Alison, welcome.
But yeah, I think those ones were locks. Zoe gave a very impassioned speech.
She did.
I did say at the time, I said this one will be tearful, and it was. I was right. But yeah, it was a deep speech, as Nick says. It was a deep speech, and very.
She speaks Spanish in the entire movie, so that was rare.
Yeah, absolutely. So Zoe's speech was deep, said Nick. Yeah. But okay, we will keep pressing ahead. I do think Zoe's performance, as much as Amelia Perez didn't get a lot of love towards the end, I do think Zoe's performance was superb. I was surprised though that she was nominated for supporting actress rather than leading, because I did feel like Zoe was actually the lead in the film.
Sure. I thought she. I didn't love that movie, but I thought she did great. 100%.
Yes,
she's the best part of that movie.
She did, and she was deserving of that recognition.
Everyone kind of danced around her, I felt. So
yeah.
Pun intended.
The 10th award presented of the night, and I think this one was a lock as well, actually. So we had 2 locks back to back. This one where I was kind of confident, and I started clawing back my initial setbacks. Okay, so production design: The Brutalist, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. You know, a good category, all good production design, it should be said. But yeah, I think the sort of stunning beauty of the winner kind of shone through, and this is how the result went down.
And the Oscar goes to Wicked.
Ben Stiller, I think, was super funny. He was
his presentation of that award was great. You know, and as soon as I saw Ben Stiller was presenting an award, I knew they weren't going to do it straight. I knew they were going to have some fun with it, and rightly so. It was a lot of fun in that particular moment. Yeah. So yeah, cool. Alison said yes, this one was a lock. Yeah, absolutely. And again, well deserved. Tim's in the chat. Hey Tim, welcome in, buddy. Hey, Tim. Can't stay, just popping in to say hey. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. But yes, yeah, that one did feel like, or certainly was a lock, and I felt it was very well deserved. Like I said, the whole category was great, but yeah, that was a well deserved win for Wicked. So yeah, the next award presented, the 11th award of the night, was okay. So we had 2 nominations for Amelia Perez. We had for El Mal and Mikamino. We had The Journey from the 688 for Diane Warren. We had Like a Bird from Sing Sing, and we had Never Too Late from Elton John. Never Too Late. This one, I felt like the writing was on the wall because El Mal had done well throughout award season, but I really wanted to see, you know, and I picked El Mal. I should be said. I picked El Mal in my predictions, but I wanted to see Diane Warren win it. I wouldn't have been disappointed if Elton John had won as well, you know. But yeah, I wanted to see Diane Warren win it. This was her 16th nomination, her 8th in a row. She's still yet to win an Oscar. But yeah, this is how this particular category.
I was cracking up because Elton John's in there, and like no one even talked about it. Like I'm like, you know, it's a rough year, but Elton John's in there,
and yet isn't in the conversation. Yeah, isn't in the conversation. So
I agree.
But yeah, this is how this award went down.
And the Oscar goes to El Mal.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that is, yeah, Mick Jagger was great, and I think that is one of the kind of the standout parts of Amelia Perez, you know, that particular performance. So it made sense. You know, is it my favorite song that I've heard this year from the movies? No, not at all. But yeah, like I said, it had been going strong throughout all of awards season. So I wasn't surprised to see that one win. I wanted Diane Warren to win it though, so I was scared his win would based on he's getting old, he can't play anymore, so they give it to him. I think you're talking about Elton John there, JC. I'm guessing
they kind of don't do that. You always think they do, or like Diane Warren's house burned down, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I was surprised. I thought The Journey was going to take it. Do you know what? There was for all of the wins that El Mal had across the award season, there was a lot of hype about The Journey going into the Oscars, so it did seem to be getting some traction, some momentum, and I really hoped that it is a good song, and I really hoped that it would derail El Mal. Like I say, that is, yeah, El Mal is, you know, one of the standout moments of the entire Amelia Perez film. But yeah, I did hope that Diane Warren would finally get that Oscar, but who knows? 9 in a row next year, 9 nominations in a row. Do you think, or 17th? You know,
without a doubt. That's our favorite thing every year is Diane Warren.
Yeah, Diane Warren. You know, is she going to get nominated again? And I wasn't expecting it this year. She did, and I'm waiting for that moment. I think I'm going to jump up and cheer when she finally wins an award, because she does write some fantastic songs. It should be said. But yes, let's move on to the next.
I hope someone's making a documentary about it, like her.
Oh, it's funny you say about documentaries because they were the next two awards presented. We had the documentary short.
Oh, wait, whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Imagine someone does a documentary on Diane Warren about her losing. She writes a song for the documentary that gets nominated,
and it wins.
And she wins for that. That'd be awesome.
Now that would be a Hollywood story in itself, right?
Hollywood story.
That would be a Hollywood story.
I just came up with that.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
These were rough.
Ben Stiller is still great.
Yeah,
yes. So I didn't see Death by Numbers, but I did see the other four. I Am Ready, Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, and The Only Girl in the Orchestra. All were good documentaries. It should be said, all were good. However, I didn't see the winner coming. So this one was a bit of a shock because I thought it ultimately went to the one that I felt was the least powerful of all the documentaries.
Yeah, I saw 3 of these, I think, right?
You saw 3 of these. You saw 2. Okay. But this is how the result went down for Best Documentary Short.
And the Oscar goes to The Only Girl in the Orchestra, Molly O'Brien and Lisa Remington.
And at that point, Kim shrieked. She let out a very audible, high-pitched scream because she was the only person across our entire ballot that picked that film. And she picked it purely because it was the only short documentary she had seen this year.
Yeah, it was cute.
To Kimmy on that one.
That's how it's about.
It wasn't a bad documentary. They were all great. They were all great. Yeah,
but what's it called was so powerful. Incident
was powerful. Incident was powerful. I Am Ready, Warden was powerful, and Instruments of a Beating Heart was adorably cute. It was adorably cute. It was about these really young Japanese school children. I'm talking young as in like age maybe 5, 5 or 6, and they want to play in like a kid's kind of.
I thought that was
for a school.
I must have got it confused. All right, I thought that was. Only Girl in the Orchestra. Oh, it's
no, it wasn't. No, that was The Only Girl in the Orchestra was about a New York orchestra. Yeah, it was about a New York orchestra.
Oh, I didn't see that then. So I saw the Instrument of a Beating Heart. Okay.
Yeah, adorably cute. It was.
Because that was on Netflix.
That one, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Yeah. So, but yes. So that was the winner for documentary short, and then like I say, we stuck with the documentary theme, and documentary feature. Documentary feature was the next one presented. I saw 3 of these. I wasn't able to see No Other Land or Porcelain War. In fact, I did watch a bit of No Other Land. I didn't get to see all of it.
I didn't see any of these. So
yeah, so I did watch some of it. But I knew that really, Black Box Diaries I thought was very good. Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat was good. Sugarcane, that was. In fact, they were all good again. But I had a feeling it was going to go to either No Other Land or Porcelain War. And I decided to go with the one that I hadn't seen any of. And I don't know why I did that, because originally I was going to go with No Other Land. And this is how the result went down.
And the Oscar goes to No Other Land.
Yeah, so the Oscar went to No Other Land. So yeah, that was I kicked myself. I did kick myself. Noah says always terrible at documentary. Yeah, if you don't watch the documentaries, and not everyone does, then it is just a wild stab in the dark, really. So it's again, you stand an 80% chance of getting it wrong. So don't beat yourself up on them. I try to watch them, or as many of them as I can, and I usually pick the one that I think is the most powerful. But like I say, I actually went with one that I didn't even see because I knew what it was about. I went with one that I didn't see, and I knew it was a toss-up between 2, and it was a kind of 50-50.
Yeah, I heard there was a lot of hype on the other one. So
yeah, absolutely. But there we go. So yeah, that was one I got wrong, or 2 I got wrong, really. I got both of them wrong. So both documentaries wrong this year. So yeah, the next category was one of the editing categories again, which was sound. And I think this one was a bit of a lock. So we had A Complete Unknown, we had Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. The only one I don't know why it was in there was The Wild Robot, because I don't think the audio was any better on The Wild Robot than any of the other animated films. You had 3 musicals. They're always going to be in the running for sound. Amelia Perez, Wicked, and A Complete Unknown. But Dune Part 2, we knew had the epic sort of sound design. And so I felt this one was a bit of a lock, even though, a musical quite often does quite well. So, there was always the scope for an upset, but this one I think was always going to be a bit of a lock. And this is how this one went down.
And the Oscar goes to Dune Part 2. Gareth John, Richard King, Ron Bartlett, and Doug Hemphill.
Yeah, I think most of us had picked that, hadn't we? Or some people picked Wicked as well. Yeah, I think some people picked Wicked. Oh, did you pick Wicked in that one? Okay, so yeah.
And then afterwards, I'm like, why did I pick Wicked?
Yeah, I mean, picking a musical is not a daft idea when it comes to sound. Usually war films or musicals do very well in the sound, in the sound category. So, action type films. Alison. Yeah, like I say, war films especially do well in sound normally. But as do musicals, if they're in the running. But Dune Part 2, I think, just had that epic sort of technical design, epic sort of, and that's why I was surprised it wasn't nominated for editing. But like I say, it was certainly in there for sound, and it was certainly in there for visual effects. And again, this one was one where we thought it was a lock, even though the visual effects in all of these were great. Alien Romulus, great visual effects. Better Man, the visual effects is they've turned Robbie Williams into a monkey, but yeah, I actually enjoyed that film more than I thought I would. Dune Part 2, like I say, it's a technical masterpiece there. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Wicked, and this is how the visual effects award went down.
And the Oscar goes to Dune Part 2. Bo Lambert, Stephen James, Reese Dalton.
Snow White.
Yeah. I think that one was a lock, wasn't it? I think
everyone
most people went with Dune Part 2 there, I think. So
or Wicked.
Yeah. Some people went with Wicked. I know, like I say, Pam went with Wicked across the board, didn't she? Bless her. So war films, yes, I remember when Titanic took sound back in 1997. Titanic took 11 of its 13 nominations that year. So it was a crazy haul of victories that Titanic had. But yeah, I do feel that VFX was a bit of a lock. The next one was another sort of category that it could have gone anywhere. So we had a live action short film. This was the 16th award of the night. Alien, Anuja, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. I did see all 5 of these. How many of these did you see, Rob?
I saw 3. Alien, Not a Robot, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent.
Okay,
and we talked about all of these too. It was great.
We did, yeah. Anuja was on Netflix, I believe. It was even Netflix or Disney Plus.
It was a little long.
Yeah.
For a short film.
Yeah. So I did see that. They were all good. I think the thing is, I watched them, and I said this in our prediction stream. As I watched each one, I was convinced that I was now watching the inevitable winner. So the first one I watched was I'm Not a Robot, and I thought it was really good, really entertaining, a little wacky, a little out there, but good. Then I watched Anuja, and I thought, yeah, okay, no, that's going to be the winner. Then I watched The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent and thought, no, that's really deep, and that one's going to win it. Then I watched Alien, and I was convinced, no, that's the winner right there. And then I watched The Last Ranger, which is a beautiful one as well, a beautiful and emotional one. And I was like, yeah, that's the winner, and that's the one I went with. I went with The Last Ranger. What did you go with?
I picked.
Did you go with the Man Who Could Not Remain Silent? Was that the one you went with?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, what do I know? Like I say, I watched them in that order, and I was convinced that I was watching the winner each
Trying to see
time.
what it picked.
And this is how the results went.
And the Oscar goes to I'm Not a Robot.
Oh, I went with you. I picked The Last Ranger. So
Oh, you picked The Last
just
Ranger
based
as well.
on hearing about it and stuff, and I know you liked it a lot too. So
yeah, Movie Mania Nick says surprisingly I got this one right.
yeah, good job, Nick.
Yeah, great job. Yeah, I thought it was just the one that was like I said, all 5 of them. I saw all 5, and they were all fun. They were all really, really enjoyable. But that was the one that I just felt stood the least chance. And what do I know? It was actually really, really, it really shocked me. It was really, really surprising. But no, it was a good film. So yeah, I'm not.
Here comes the final stretch.
The final stretch, 7 awards. So cinematography quite often goes hand in hand with where you expect to see the best picture going. Although this year the cinematography award was kind of a bit different in that I didn't feel Dune Part 2 or Emilia Perez were really in the conversation. So you had The Brutalist, you had Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria. That's the only nomination for Maria, which is the Angelina Jolie picture, and Nosferatu as well, which I did think the cinematography in Nosferatu was beautiful. However, I didn't think it was going to win it.
You call them fillers, some of those movies.
Yeah, some of them definitely are fillers, yeah. But I think most of us got where this one was going. I think Brandon maybe went with the wrong option. But yeah, this one is this is how cinematography went down.
And the Oscar goes to The Brutalist, Lowell Crawley.
Okay, there I said, like, all right, maybe the Brutalist will come, start kicking in. Because you've seen Oscars where you don't hear much, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, 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 boom. It did go boom, 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 but for the movie, I didn't think it was gonna. But
yeah, I think the cinematography was great in The Brutalist. It's got to be said. Like Nosferatu's was maybe my favorite cinematography of the year, but the cinematography in The Brutalist was stunning. So it was a worthwhile, a worthy winner. So a worthwhile winner. So yeah, I think this is where one of the shocks of the night came in next, and that was the international feature film, because I think at one point this was a lock earlier in award season, but then following controversies, there was, it opened the doors for others. So international feature film, you had I'm Still Here from Brazil, you had The Girl with the Needle from Denmark, Emilia Perez from France, The Seed of the Sacred Fig from Germany, and Flow from Latvia. And unfortunately, I think The Girl with the Needle and The Seed of the Sacred Fig just weren't really in the conversation here. Yeah, so
did you see those?
I saw a bit of The Girl with the Needle. I didn't see any of The Seed of the Sacred Fig. So, but yeah.
Well, it's interesting because I'm Still Here at one other award. It got a lot of hype. Emilia Perez.
Oh, yes, and I
didn't think it was going to win Best Picture, so maybe I would go. That's what I picked. I would go for it here because it just, it's the most nominated movie, and it just, it's not going to win Best Picture just because the quote unquote controversy. But then Flow was already won for Best Animated Movie, and it was up for that.
Yeah.
So it was a weird category for sure.
I'm Still Here is one I didn't see as well, I should say. So because
Right.
only because that one's not available anywhere yet.
Yeah.
So, but it did get talked up. In fact, on the UK panel doing the coverage of the Oscars and the analysis and everything like that, one of them did say that I'm Still Here was her film of the year. So,
Wow.
yeah,
I bet if it's available tomorrow, because usually Tuesdays are one.
Yeah. A lot of them come out, directly after the Oscars, don't they? So, yeah. But this is how this one was presented. Like I say, we all thought at one point Emilia Perez was the lock here, but then the door was kind of kicked wide open, and this is how this one went down.
And the Oscar goes to I'm Still Here, Brazil.
Yeah, so that one was a bit of a shocker. I did go with I'm Still Here in the end, only because I had caught wind of the hype of the sort of momentum shift, I guess. But I think a lot of people were convinced that Amelia Perez was still strong enough. You went with Amelia Perez, didn't you?
I did, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely felt. I don't know. I didn't do the research and the obvious. Like, this is what's going to win, but that doesn't mean anything. like you don't know. So who knows? It could have been either one.
Yeah, exactly. And we should say that this year we did say that it was a wild and crazy award season across the whole board, and we knew there was going to be shocks and upsets throughout. So yeah, as it proved to be last night. Okay, before we get to the big four, there was one more, the 19th award to go, and that was for
I agree, JC.
Best Original Score. Yeah, a lot of these were 50-50. Yeah, absolutely. So Best Original Score, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. And I think this one felt more like a lock. This one, I think everyone went with the eventual, or most people went with the eventual winner. So, yeah, Best Original Score. And again, I think this one had kind of swept it across award season with the exception of the Golden Globes. And the reason being the Golden Globes went to Challengers, which didn't even get nominated here. So, so yeah, this was Best Original Score at the Oscars.
And the Oscar goes to The Brutalist, Daniel Bloomberg.
That's Luke Skywalker.
That was Mark Hamill. Yeah, it was Luke Skywalker himself presenting that one. But yeah, The Brutalist. So
again, I'm like, okay, maybe Brutalist. Who knows? I don't know.
It certainly opened the door, I think, and yeah. But here we are heading into the.
Is that the guy who looked like Voldemort?
Big Four.
Voldemort. Yeah, I think it was.
Which one? Oh yes, yeah. The
he was spooky looking.
The composer, yeah, the composer, yeah. But yes, the Big Four awards at the end of the night. First of all, actor.
Here we go.
In a leading role, and this one wasn't a lock anymore. We all thought it had been a lock throughout most of award season because Adrian Brody obviously took the Golden Globe. He took, although Sebastian Stan took a Golden Globe as well, but then Brody also took the Critics' Choice Award, and he took the BAFTA. So everyone thought this is fine. But then actually, Timothée Chalamet started to get a bit of momentum, and he surprised everyone by taking the SAG award. So so there was a bit of a momentum swing, and I think this is where this one caught a lot of people out because everyone was convinced, a bit like when Brendan Fraser won for The Whale, and that overtook I think it had been going to Elvis all throughout the year, hadn't it? Yeah, this one I think everyone was expecting Chalamet to pull off the upset here, but this is how this one went.
And the Oscar goes to Adrian Brody.
Yeah, I picked Brody there. Did you? Who did you go with? Did you go with Brody as well?
I think it was pretty much favorite.
Brody, yeah. Yeah, I think even though Chalamet had been sort of pushing, and had momentum going for him, I just thought Brody's position was too strong. I wouldn't have been disappointed if Timothée Chalamet won because I did think his performance in A Complete Unknown was really good. And he would have dethroned Brody not just in that category last night, but also as the youngest ever Oscar winner because Adrian Brody won at the age of 29 in 1993 for The Piano. Timothée Chalamet is also 29, but a few months younger by the time the Oscars comes around, if that makes sense. I think his birthday is December.
It does,
yeah. So Timothée Chalamet would have become the youngest acting Oscar winner.
That was probably the number. Well, besides Best Picture, that was like the most like I was wondering about. I didn't think that was. I didn't think Adrian Brody was a lock, but of course I voted for him. A lot of people did, but I don't know.
No, I wouldn't have been surprised. I did go with Brody, but I wouldn't have been surprised to see Timothée Chalamet win that. Yeah, Alison said, Adrian's speech was really good, but long. Yes, he did actually cut off the orchestra who were trying to play him off. Actually, he cut off and I've never seen. I don't think I've ever seen an orchestra play off a leading actor or actress before.
He was really long though.
Yeah. So. Yeah, he did go long, but yeah, he did manage to stop that. So
we're going into overtime. So
yeah.
Hey, John.
He's a young kid. He will have his day. Absolutely, John. He will.
Yeah, for sure. He's a great actor.
Sorry, the pianist from 2002, not the piano. So yeah. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, I did.
Thanks,
Chick.
Chick.
Get that wrong there. Yeah. Thanks, Chick. Yeah. Cheers, Chick. Yes. Okay. So
sorry, Nick.
After...
I'm just so funny. We called you Chick.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Movie Mania Chick.
That's
another YouTube channel.
Movie Mania Chick. That's that was my excitement of the Oscars hype the other night. So
there we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Achievement in directing. Okay, so you had Sean Baker up for another award here for Anora. You had Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. You had A Complete Unknown, Amelia Perez, and The Substance. Coralie Fargeau becoming only the ninth sort of female director nominee ever. In the last 97 years, of the 10th nomination for a female.
Who was this?
Director.
I'm
sorry. That was Coralie Fargeau. Coralie Fargeau for The Substance. Yeah. She was. She was in the running, and The Substance was a great film. But yeah, this is how Best Director went.
And the Oscar goes to Anora. Sean Baker!
Yikes. I knew Anora was winning.
That was, I think that was the moment the writing was on the wall for Best Picture as well, because, that was Sean Baker's third personal Oscar of the night. Anora was only nominated for 6 awards, and by this point, this was Anora's third out of 4, I think. Yeah. So Sean Baker had taken all of them. He'd taken the writing one, he'd taken the editing one, and now he'd taken Best Director. That was a great win. Chick says, yes.
Trying to see how it feels to hold one of these, even though this is not real. But
poor Nick. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Nick. Yeah. Typically not always, but whoever wins director wins Best Picture. Not always. You're right, Alison, because Jane Campion won it for Power of the Dog, which was highly tipped to take Best Picture 3 years ago, but then Coda obviously won it, which was a great moment. Anora took 4 out of 6. That's not quite correct, Nick, because that was Anora's third win of the night, and then there was still time. There was 2 more awards to be presented, and we still had time for another shock, because the next one wasn't a lock. It was a very, very good category. Cynthia Erivo in actress for a leading role for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Anora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Fernanda Torres had taken a Golden Globe. Demi Moore had taken Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, and I think the SAG Award. Mikey Madison had taken the BAFTA. So this one was kind of all to play for. I think the sensible, smart money was going with Demi Moore because she had been the strongest throughout award season, but this is how this one went down.
And the Oscar goes to Mikey Madison.
And I was super torn there. I think I picked Demi Moore for that one. Yeah, I picked Demi Moore. And I was torn over it because did I think Demi was going to win? Yes. Did I think Demi Moore's performance was the performance of the year? No. I thought she was great, and I wanted to see her win. But actually, my favorite performance was Mikey Madison's in Honora, and it was one of those. Demi Moore had this kind of sort of comeback arc, across award season. She'd never won an award before. She won the Golden Globe last month in January, and she had this kind of redemption arc almost, and it was. I was really, really kind of rooting for her in that regard, because I don't know when she'll be back in this position again. I hope she is, though. And she was great in The Substance.
Sometimes a movie like this will kickstart a career, and she'll hopefully be in something down the line.
Yeah.
I used to like Demi Moore growing up. I thought she was a great actress, and it was nice to see her get her come up. Is that the word? But yeah.
But yeah, did I think, like I said, did I think hers was performance of the year? No, I thought Mikey Madison's was. And even though I'd picked Demi Moore, and I wouldn't have been disappointed to see Demi Moore win, when Mikey Madison was announced, I did actually let out a very audible cheer. I was over the moon with that one, and I was happy to get that one. Wrong. This was the moment of the night. I was truly disappointed here, but Adam, you totally called it last night. Thanks, Alison. Yeah, like I said, I just felt Demi Moore's performance was great. It really was, but I don't think it was the performance of the night. So that
she's saying the moment of the night, but I think 100%, Allison, for award surprise, obviously Best Picture, and that I think those were tied for. Well, at the end, I guess it really wasn't a surprise, but I think Best Picture. I think everyone had their money on Demi Moore. So
yes, I mean, I still backed Demi to win that, but
right.
But yeah, that was but yes, so that was Honora's fourth
25. She's 25.
Fourth win out of 5. Mikey Madison, yeah, and she will come again. Like she will absolutely have a long career ahead of her.
It was kind of cool that she was in what's his name's movie, and he thanked her for casting.
Yes, she was in Quentin Tarantino's movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Sean Baker
really tell the story too well. Thanks.
Yeah, Sean Baker. This is when Sean Baker won Best Director, the award before, and Sean Baker did say, without your Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie, I would never have cast Mikey Madison. So he said that on stage, and so look at what Tarantino did there, because that gave Sean Baker his directing award for Honora, and that gave Mikey Madison the actress in a leading role award.
That's crazy
at the Oscars, which is great. So and that's thanks to Mr. Tarantino and his Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which Dan predicted would storm the Oscars many years ago, 2020. So here we go, the big one, the last award of the night. 10 pictures: Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Some great movies in there. I felt it was a 3-horse race between Honora, The Brutalist, and Conclave. And I was still worried that Conclave might actually take this because it took the BAFTA. And then it followed up with a SAG Ensemble as well. So I did wonder that, despite Honora's successes up until now, I did wonder that
it's weird though.
Might get this.
But in the past, there's been anything could have still won here. Brutal. I could literally, I swear, I could still see The Brutalist, Conclave, or Honora winning here.
And even A Complete Unknown. Even A Complete Unknown was still in the conversation. Yeah. I think for A Complete Unknown to really move into a strong position, it would have had to have taken the writing award, which it didn't. But yeah, I think A Complete Unknown was kind of in the conversation here. And then, let's not forget that you've got the 2 biggest movies of the year, Dune Part 2 and Wicked. They're the biggest productions of the year. So
I'm not going to lie. I knew Honora was winning here. So
Amelia Perez, the most nominated one. So
I was not surprised Honora took it. So
because Sean Baker had obviously, taken editing, writing, and directing, it kind of, there was a sense of inevitability, and this is
those awards, and he didn't win Best Picture. That would have been the biggest upset ever. I think
that would have been on a par with when Coda beat Power of the Dog.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
for sure.
That was a huge shock. So, but here we go.
Let's
The
play it.
best
When Harry Met
picture.
Sally.
And the Oscar goes to? Are they playing us off?
No. Well, maybe.
Honora.
Nominated for 6 Academy Awards, Honora has won 5 Oscars tonight.
I love the girls running from the back. I don't know who those girls were. I don't know if they were the cast or they were.
They'll be part of the crew. They'll be part of the crew.
It was kind of cracking me up. So
yeah,
it was good to see Billy Crystal back. They did a Super Bowl commercial. When Harry Met Sally was one of my favorite movies growing up. Ironically,
it's a great movie.
And ironically, Pretty Woman. I really like. I don't know. Maybe as a guy that's not. At the time, it's just a great movie. So still a great movie, both of them. But those were the two favorites. So Honora kind of was a homage to Pretty Woman and When Harry Met Sally. So it was a really weird moment for me to see thing. Yeah, you know what, Allison? I'm gonna watch Honora again. I'm gonna watch it again with an open mind.
I said to Rob a couple of weeks ago when I watched Honora, Rob kind of said at the time then it wasn't his favorite film. And I said, really, I said for me that it was my film of the year so far.
Yeah.
There were some great ones in there. I loved Wicked. More than I thought I would, actually. Like I knew I would enjoy it, but I actually loved it more than I thought I would. I loved The Substance, and I absolutely loved Honora. And The Brutalist is brilliant as well. Very long, but it is brilliant. Yeah, it was really nice to see Billy Crystal back. I have the Laserdisc of Harry Met Sally, still a great cover. Yeah. So Honora, and I did say to Rob at the time, for me that was the film of the year, and Mikey Madison's was the performance of the year. That was my gut feeling at the time. It doesn't mean I'm right. That was just my opinion. And the great thing about movies is we all get an opinion. Nobody has to, not everybody has to like what they watch, and Rob and I kind of talk about this year on year. There's a lot of movies that Rob will see and he's not a big fan of them. There's a lot of movies that I will see that maybe I'm not a fan of. Oppenheimer last year was Brandon's movie of the year, but for me, I felt there was, even though Oppenheimer was a masterpiece, it was brilliant. It wasn't my favorite film by a long stretch. And that's the thing with movies. There's no right or wrong answer. We're all entitled to our own opinions. But I'm so happy for that small independent film, because Honora is only a $6 million budget, and that budget would have been spent on, a lot of the production design. Really, you have that amazing penthouse. You have the aeroplane. And a lot of the other things. The clubs in Vegas and whatever. It's I just think it was a great film, and they did really, really well. So I know it wasn't your favorite, but if you are going to go and watch it again, absolutely
might have to
do. Yeah, thanks, Nick. Nick says he's heading out, guys. Yeah, good job, Adam and Dan, for picking it right and for inviting me to join the picks. Yeah, Nick, you're welcome every year, buddy. As is everyone. Allison, I can see you are a big fan of the Oscars and the movies in general. So by all means, if you want to submit your picks with us next year, we do this year on year. This was our 7th annual Pub Talk Oscars coverage. So how many did you get? Was it 16 as predicted? So let's go back over, because I know JC wasn't here.
We did talk about it at the beginning, because we did the beginning. Let's go through it again real quick, and then
we will. Yeah, I know you got a split, so I've tried to rattle through these as quick as I could for you, buddy. Yes, let's.
My timeout. By the way, we got to get Mike and Jen next year. Our theme life.
Yes, we want Mike and Jen.
We had a rough week this week, Mike. So, and I'm sorry if we didn't get to everyone in the chat. We're just trying to get through all this stuff today. So, I apologize.
Yes, I am trying to get to everyone in the chat as much as I can. But yes, it has been a good year. But let's go back over it again. So Noah says he gives the Oscars 7 out of 10 this year. So yeah, it did start with I guess the moment of the night, like I said, that opening sort of LA montage, to pay homage and tribute to the city of Los Angeles, the resilience. It should also be said they did bring on, sort of
first
halfway
responders,
through,
firefighters,
first responders, firefighters, to say thank you to them and let them do a bit of a read on the stage.
We thought Conan was great too. By the way, we thought he was great.
Yes, Conan as a host was great. Yeah. Hi, Aaron and Rob. Yep, welcome in, Mr. Fulton Miraz. It's good to see you, buddy. But yeah, and sorry to hear that you fell and injured yourself at your basketball game. I'm at the hospital. Oh, dude, get better soon.
Feel better.
Please, feel better. But yeah, that's. I'm sorry to hear that. But, yes, Conan was great. His jokes landed really well. There was just that fine balance of perfect comedy and just a little bit on the nose, but yes, all throughout. And yeah, I thought it was really, really good. So going back to the results then, let me pull up
the
results page. Yes, sorry, let me just pull up the results page. So and this is for Alison, this is for JC. We'll quickly go back through this now. He has good comedic timing. Yes, he does. Okay, so the first category of the night, Kieran Culkin won for actor in a supporting role. Did I get that one right? Yes, I think all of us did, with the exception of Nick and Pam, unfortunately. So we were all, most of us were one up there. Animated feature film went to Flo. The only person to get that right was Noah. Well done, Noah. Then short animated film, In the Shadow of the Cypress. Again, Noah got that one right. As did Ray, Pam, Nick. So most of us were still only on one. Achievement in costume design, Wicked. Everybody went with that one. So well done. That was my second of the night. JC, that we put you on too as well. Writing original screenplay, Nora. That was my third. That was JC's third. Adapted screenplay, Conclave. That was my fourth. That was JC's fourth. Rob, you were on 3 at this point.
I was nervous.
Yeah.
Definitely around the beginning. I'm like, what? Nothing?
Makeup and hairstyling. Our picks across the board were torn between The Substance and Wicked. I went with The Substance.
Yeah.
And in fact, we both did, as did JC. So yes, The Substance won that one. So a great win. Achievement in film editing. Yes, you're right, Rob. The only person to pick this one was Brandon, which was Honora. So most of us stayed where we were there. Only Brandon moved up to 4 correct ones, but the rest of us were on 5 out in front. Actress in a supporting role seemed a lock for Zoe Saldana. It was a lock for Zoe Saldana, and that moved me and Dan and JC on to 6, and Kimmy as well. Kimmy was on 6 at this point as well, it should be said. Rob, you were on 5. Yep. The next one was achievement in production design. All of us, with the exception of Ray, went with Wicked. Wicked got this one, so we all moved up one. Music original song, El Mal by Emilia Perez. I got this one, Rob got this one, JC got this one, Kimmy got this one. So yeah, so well done for those that got it right. Documentary short subject. The only 2 people that got this one right was Kimmy, who went into the lead on 9 at this point, and Jim from More Sunshine Please got this one right as well. So Kimmy got onto 9 here, but then she didn't get documentary feature right. That went to No Other Land. Kimmy had gone with Black Box Diaries. So I didn't get it right either, but Rob, you were on 8, Dan was on 8, I was on 8, JC was on 8, Kimmy was still in front on 9. Achievement in sound, Doom Part 2. Again, Kimmy didn't get this one. She went with a complete unknown, but I got it right. Dan got it right. JC went with Emilia Perez, and Rob, you went with Wicked there, didn't you? So, yeah. So that's how that one went. Live action short, I'm Not a Robot. Brandon and Movie Mania Nick were the only ones to get this one right. Cinematography, The Brutalist. Yes, I got it right. Dan got it right. JC, you got this one right, so you moved up to 9. I was on 11, as was Dan at this point. Rob, you got it as well on 10. Kimmy was also on 10 by this time. International feature film, I'm Still Here. This one JC, you got it right. Well done. So this moved you on to 10. Kimmy was moved up to 11. Me and Dan on 12. Rob, you went with Amelia Perez, so you were on 10 still. Music original score, The Brutalist, moved me on to 13. Dan on to 13. Rob on to 11. JC on to 11. Kimmy on to 12. Then, what did we have? We had actor in a leading role. Okay, so the last 4. Actor in a leading role, Adrian Brody, moved me on to 14, Dan on to 14, Rob on to 12, JC on to 12, and Kimmy on to 13. Achievement in directing, Anora, I got it correct, so 15. Dan got it correct, so 15. JC got it correct, so on to 13. Rob, you went with The Brutalist, so you stayed on 12. Kimmy also went with The Brutalist, so she stayed on 13. Then actress in a... Yeah, she did, yeah. Actress in a leading role. Most of us got this wrong. The only people who got it right was Brandon, who went with Mikey Madison, Jim, and Chris. So again, me and Dan both on 15, Rob on 12, JC on 13, Kimmy on 13. And then Best Picture. So Best Picture, that was Anora, which Alison, to answer your question, what did I get? I got 16. I did actually get my prediction. So yes, 16. Dan got 16.
I can't believe you got your prediction, and congratulations, man. Sorry,
Rob, you finished on 12. JC on 14. And
I said
Kimmy on
I was going to get
13.
15, I think, right? And I didn't even get 15.
Yeah. So there we have it. So that is the result. 16. Yeah, I said I'd be happy if I got 15 because of the unpredictability.
What did we get last year to win the tie? I forget. I keep forgetting.
I think it was like 20 or 21 or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, JC, you essentially came second because Dan and I tied in first. So you came second on 14. Kimmy came third on 13, and Rob came fourth on 12. But essentially, we were the top 5 people. So yes, close, JC. You did really, really well. But that wraps up.
Congratulations, everyone. Everyone did great. I'm so proud of everyone.
Yes, yeah, likewise.
This is how I follow. I was showing on the video, like
let's max you out there. There we go.
I do old school,
yes.
like I just my
you do it old school. See, I have my laptop on my in front of me like during the night, and
the winners on a blank sheet too. So
I complete the spreadsheet in real time just to keep on top of it all. But there you go, another Pub Talk Oscars in the bag. We've done 7, and Rob, you've won 1 so far, which we shared. We tied together, so you have your trophy from last year there. Dan,
I do.
Dan, we do need to. Yeah, there's your trophy from last year. This is obviously my trophy from last year as well, still in its box. Dan, we need to get you one of these over.
That's this year's, right?
Yeah, that's this year's. Yep. So yes, I can say I am out of the 7 years. Oh, this sounds horrendous. I kind of hate. I'm embarrassed to say that this is my 6th. So there was one year when I didn't get a win, which was the year that Grace and Kimmy beat everyone, didn't they? So but yes, this is my 6th one, and we'll make sure one goes out to Dan as well. We're gonna have to start engraving these so we know which years everyone's done got wins for as well. So yeah, we'll work on that. We'll try and get a bit more of an official kind of thing going. But thank you to everyone that took part this year. It is great fun, and we look forward to doing it all again next year. So any closing thoughts, Rob?
Real quick though, Adam finally, unfortunately, has been busy. He finally did the recap of all the movies. Really good. It's on this channel. Go check it out. And he did the red carpet yesterday. If you guys missed that, so much fun. Our next show is St. Patrick's Day. We're going to do a St. Patrick's Day show. Get Mike in there. Get Brandon. We'll get hopefully get Dan in there. Get some of the crowd in here. So check it back. And we did our predictions on my channel too. So check it out. Don't forget we have a podcast, the Pubcast as we call it. So
the Pubcast, yeah.
Subscribe to us on your podcast. It's fun just listening back, just to hear the audio and just kind of relaxing and listening to it. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And thanks for all our supporters. Thanks, Connie.
Yeah. Question: Do you think? Do you guys think that Wicked goes into the next Oscar race as a default front runner for SAG, PGA, and Oscars, or maybe BAFTAs, as it was shot there? Will it be Wicked versus Avatar 3 for the technical categories? I think Wicked will get more awards next year. Absolutely.
It's going to be nominated again. That's the funny thing. Like the EGOT she didn't get, but she could win it next year, which is funny.
She absolutely could. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But obviously, if Avatar 3 is released by then as well, then you would expect that to be heavily favored, for a lot of the technical awards. But yeah, awesome show, guys.
Thanks,
I'll
Allison.
definitely
Thank you guys
participate
for
next year. Thank you, Allison.
Our shows are really long, and we put a lot into it and everything, so we appreciate you guys watching. And they get good traction and stuff. So
yeah,
Adam,
we have a lot
awesome
of fun
job, awesome award season. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.
Being a great friend, and we had some great shows, and I learned so much from Adam. Adam he's like a movie elephant. He remembers everything. So he remembers. It's just amazing. So cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it is nice to as a movie fan, but also someone that works in film. I am fascinated by a lot of these facts that come up year on year. So I guess I do absorb a lot of them like a sponge. So sometimes on the fly I forget little things or say something incorrectly. Like I said about Adrian Brody for the piano instead of the pianist before. But
don't worry, Movie Media Chick.
Movie Media Chick corrected me. So but yes, it's been a fun one, another one in the bag, and we will head out now. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Adam, congratulations, guys, on the win.
Cheers, and join us. Like I say, the next pub talk is going to be on Rob's channel in a couple of weeks' time for St. Patrick's Day. I'm sure we'll have plenty of Guinnesses and other Irish drinks, and we'll have a lot of fun, and we'll catch up. We'll catch up with everyone then. So cheers to the Pub Talk Oscars number 7 in the bag. Cheers to everyone that watched, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys. Take care. Cheers.
Not doing the effects.